All right, so today we're diving into something a little different. We're
Yeah.
going to be looking at a sermon by Pastor Jerry Eze,
Okay.
but not from like a religious perspective or
Yeah.
anything, more like dissecting it as a powerful speech.
Interesting.
You know how some speakers can just really move their audience.
Yeah, like what are the techniques they're using to
Yeah.
connect with people?
Yeah, so that's kind of our deep dive today.
So we're looking at how he conveys his message of divine help
Right.
and overcoming obstacles.
And I think one of the first things you notice is just how high energy his delivery is.
Oh, yeah.
Like he uses a lot of call and response with the audience.
Okay.
Shouting Ebenezer, which means stone of help.
Uh,
And the Lord has helped me over and over.
yeah, I noticed that repetition a lot. It
Yeah.
seems really intentional.
Yeah, and it not only reinforces the message, but it also creates this
Yeah.
sense of unity in the room.
Like everyone's going through the same thing together.
It's really interesting. Makes you think if like a similar approach could work in a business setting.
Oh, interesting.
Like imagine a CEO pumping up their team
Yeah.
with a powerful phrase.
To get everyone on board.
Right.
Yeah. I think the principle of shared experience
Yeah.
definitely applies beyond just religion.
Definitely. And to like further illustrate his points,
Okay.
Pastor Eze brings in all these stories from the Old Testament.
Right?
Like he talks about Samuel and the Philistines
Okay.
who were oppressing the Israelites
For 20 years.
for 20 years.
Wow.
And I think he's drawing a parallel there
Oh, yeah.
between the Israelites' struggles and
Yeah.
the personal battles that his listeners might be facing.
Like no matter how impossible things seem,
Right.
there's a way out.
Yeah. And it's not just like a dry retelling of the story.
Right.
He really brings it to life.
Okay.
Like he describes Samuel placing a stone between two cities
Mhm.
after the Israelites' victory,
And he calls it
and he calls it Ebenezer.
Ebner, which
Right.
means stone of help. Right. I see it as a symbol of a turning point. Like from oppression to freedom.
It's that moment of transition.
Exactly. And we've all had those moments where we just feel stuck.
Like we need a breakthrough.
And that stone is like a reminder
Okay.
to acknowledge the help that we've already received
Mm.
and to trust that we can overcome our current challenges.
I really like how he connects that to being grateful
Yeah.
for past help as a way to open the door for future blessings.
It's like when you show someone appreciation,
Yeah.
they're more likely to help you out again later.
Right. It's like that feeling of,
Exactly. Gratitude can be so powerful.
Yeah.
It shifts our perspective,
it's really,
from focusing on what we lack to
Um,
appreciating what we have.
it's a good point.
And that can be so empowering.
And sometimes help comes from the most unexpected places.
Oh, tell me about it.
He tells this fascinating story
Okay.
about Rhoda,
Rhoda.
who was a house girl and, often overlooked.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think the story is brilliant on multiple levels.
Oh, yeah. Why?
Well, first of all, it flips the script on who we think of as heroes.
Okay.
Rhoda is someone who's considered insignificant,
Right.
but she plays a crucial role.
It makes you think about those times
Yeah,
when you might have underestimated someone
totally.
because of their background or position.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to value diverse perspectives
Definitely.
and recognize that everyone has something to contribute.
Yeah. Even if it's not immediately apparent.
Exactly.
The second thing that I love about this story
Okay.
is that it emphasizes how important it is
Yeah.
to be open to help from unexpected sources.
Okay.
So remember, the disciples were praying for Peter's release from prison,
Uh-huh.
and it was Rhoda who recognized his voice at the door.
And told everyone their prayers have been answered.
Exactly.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like when you're struggling with something
Uh-huh.
and the solution comes from someone you least expect.
Like out of the blue,
That's Rhoda.
it's Rhoda.
Yeah.
And it also ties back to this idea of staying humble.
Okay.
If the disciples had just listened to Rhoda right away,
Yeah.
they wouldn't have doubted the miracle.
That's a good point.
So it's like a reminder to stay open
Yeah.
to all possibilities.
Okay, but here's the thing.
What?
Pastor Eze doesn't shy away from the hard truths.
Uh-oh.
He says there are specific qualities that block divine help.
Oh, interesting.
And topping that list
Okay.
is prayerlessness.
So obviously that has like religious connotations.
Yeah.
But if you think about it more broadly,
Oh.
it's really about whether you believe
Yeah.
that you can handle everything on your own.
Or if you're open to seeking support
Right.
and guidance.
It's like that I got this attitude
Yeah.
that can stop you from asking for help
When you need it.
when you really need it.
Yeah.
He also talks about ignoring instructions.
Oh, yeah, we've all been there.
Which, I mean, come on.
Like, who hasn't done that?
But it can be a sign of overconfidence. You know?
Like thinking you know better
Yeah.
the person giving you guidance.
Exactly. And imagine applying this to a work project.
Okay.
Ignoring instructions from your manager
Uh-oh.
could lead to missed deadlines.
Yeah.
All sorts of problems.
And it's not even just about practical tasks.
Right.
Sometimes we ignore the instructions our bodies give us
Oh, yeah.
when we're stressed or overworked.
And then we end up burning out.
Exactly.
He also talks about despising others.
Oh, right. Like looking down on people.
And remember the Rhoda story?
Yeah.
If we're constantly putting people down
All right.
or thinking we're better than them,
Uh-huh.
we close ourselves off.
To their
It's
contribution.
our potential contribution.
It's like those times when you dismiss someone's ideas in a meeting,
Mm-hmm.
only to realize later they had a good point.
Oh, yeah. We need to be more open
Definitely.
to different viewpoints.
And of course, he mentions a lack of gratitude
Right.
as another blocker.
Because if you don't appreciate the help you've received,
Yeah.
why would anyone want to help you again?
It's like receiving a gift and not saying thank you.
Exactly. It sends the wrong message.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, I'm listening.
Pastor Eze talks about help in you versus help for you.
Interesting. What's the difference?
So he's saying that sometimes
Yeah.
you need internal change
Okay. Helping you.
before you can receive external blessings.
Help for you.
Right.
It's like training for a marathon.
Okay.
You can't just go out and run it.
You got to build up to it.
You need endurance.
Right.
You need mental strength.
It's not just about getting what you want.
Mm-hmm.
It's about becoming the kind of person who can handle it.
I like that.
So think about any major goal,
Okay.
like getting a promotion
Yeah.
or starting a business.
You need resources.
Yeah, external resources, but you also need internal growth.
Right. You need to develop skills.
Yeah, overcome fears.
It's resilient.
So maybe those times when it feels like
Yeah.
we're facing setback after setback,
Mm-hmm.
it's actually helping you
Right.
in disguise.
Like you're being prepared.
Yeah, for something
Oh.
bigger and better.
I like that way of thinking about it.
It's like in a video game when you have to defeat a tough boss before you can level up.
Harder the battle, the greater the reward.
All right, I got to ask.
What's up?
He actually suggests that negativity and challenges
Okay.
can be indicators of a major breakthrough.
That's an interesting idea.
So how can we know if we're just in a rough patch?
Yeah.
Or if it's a sign that something amazing is about to happen?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I think it goes back to the helping you concept.
Okay.
Those tough times,
Yeah.
they force us to confront our weaknesses,
Well,
develop new skills.
And if we can embrace those challenges
Yeah.
as opportunities,
Yes.
we're more likely to come out stronger.
Right. And ready for whatever comes next.
So instead of fearing those tough times, maybe we should try to see them as a signal
Yeah.
that we're on the verge of a transformation.
Like a caterpillar turning into a butterfly.
Yeah,
You got to go through that struggle
right.
to become something beautiful.
It really makes you think differently about
Yeah.
obstacles
Really close.
and how we perceive them.
Definitely.
Maybe those struggles were actually paving the way
Yeah.
for something incredible.
I like that.
It sounds like we've only just scratched the surface here.
Yeah, there's so much more to unpack.
I'm eager to hear your insights
All right.
on how we can apply these concepts to our own lives.
Let's do it. And the way he illustrates these ideas is so captivating.
Yeah.
You know, like that story about the Philistines attacking the Israelites as they
Oh.
were trying to reconnect with God?
Oh, yeah. It was like
Almost like they were trying to
sabotage their progress.
sabotage. Yeah.
Yeah.
He uses that to talk about those who might want to see you fail,
Right.
those who predict your downfall.
The doubt.
Yeah, but instead of like dwelling on that negativity,
Yeah.
he offers this powerful image
Okay.
of divine intervention.
Yeah.
God responds to the Philistines' arrogance
Yeah.
with a great thunder,
Wow.
scatters their armies, sends them running in defeat.
That's a powerful image.
It is.
But I wonder if it might alienate
Yeah.
those who don't necessarily believe
Yeah, that's a good point.
in that kind of,
Supernatural intervention.
yeah.
Even if we strip away the religious context, though,
Okay.
the core message still resonates.
Okay.
It's about finding the strength
Yeah.
to overcome those who doubt you,
Right. Those who
try to hold you back from achieving your goals.
So it's like a metaphorical thunderclap.
Yes.
That moment when,
You prove them wrong,
yeah,
and you
Ugh.
achieve something
they thought was impossible.
that they thought you couldn't do.
Right.
It's about that inner resilience,
The belief in yourself.
that unwavering belief, even when others don't see it.
I love how he brings it back to the Ebenezer,
Oh, yeah, the stone of help.
the stone of help.
Yeah.
He reminds us that Samuel placed it between two cities, symbolizing the transition
The transitions we go through.
we all go through in life.
I think that placement is significant.
Okay, why?
It suggests that God's help isn't just a one-time thing.
Huh?
It's an ongoing process that guides us through every stage.
It's like graduating from college.
Yes.
Or landing a new job.
You've hit a milestone,
Right.
but there's more challenges ahead.
And you need that support
You need that support.
along the way.
He also connects it to the idea of Jesus as the stone the builders rejected,
Okay.
drawing a parallel
Right.
between the physical stone and the spiritual foundation that faith can provide.
I see what you mean. It's like finding something
Yeah.
to ground yourself in.
Something solid.
Right, when you're facing.
Like certainty.
Yeah.
Then he says this really thought-provoking line: men cannot be helped if they don't find their place of battles and raise the altar of Jesus.
Okay, what do you think he means by finding their place of battles?
I think he's acknowledging that everyone faces challenges.
Yeah, life is a series of battles.
Right, big and small.
But instead of avoiding them,
Yeah.
he's saying we should
Face
head on,
on.
confront them.
But not alone.
Okay, but what about that?
Yeah.
Raising the altar of Jesus part.
Right.
How does that translate to a more secular context?
I think it's about recognizing when you need support,
Okay.
reaching out for help,
Okay.
whether it's a mentor, a therapist, a friend,
All right.
or even a support group.
It's acknowledging you don't have to go through it alone.
Exactly.
It's like building a team.
a support network.
Yeah.
People who can offer guidance,
Encouragement
practical help
when you need it most.
when you need it most.
He also stresses the importance
Yeah.
of acknowledging the help you've received.
Right. He even uses this phrase, advertise it to a generation.
Okay.
I thought that sounded a bit boastful at first.
Yeah, I could see that.
But then I started thinking about it differently.
Okay, so what do you think he means?
By advertising God's help.
Yeah.
Think about those times
Mm-hmm.
when you hear someone share a story
Okay.
about overcoming a challenge.
Yeah.
Their story might inspire you, give you hope.
Right. Or even some practical strategies.
For dealing with a similar situation,
Sharing our stories can be so powerful.
it can.
For both the person telling the story
And the person listening.
yeah, it creates that sense of community.
He's
Like we're
fresh.
all in this together.
That we're not alone.
So advertising God's help
Yeah.
is like a way of paying it forward
Inspiring others
to seek support
and find the strength.
to overcome their challenges.
He also reminds us that we should never let expertise or routine make us complacent.
Okay.
He uses the example of driving.
Okay.
He says, I have seen great drivers die, implying that no matter how skilled you are,
Right.
there are always factors
Beyond your control.
beyond your control.
So it's a reminder to stay humble.
Stay humble.
We all need help sometimes.
We all need help.
It's not just about practical skills like driving.
Right.
It's about navigating life.
The complexities of life,
Why?
the emotional ups and downs,
The curveballs?
the curveballs that life throws at you,
It's about acknowledging we don't have all the answers,
and being open to learning from others.
even if they don't have the same level of experience.
He's advocating for humility,
Humility.
recognizing there's always something new to
A
learn,
different perspective.
a fresh approach.
I think about those times
Yeah.
when I've been stuck in a rut
Uh-huh.
trying to solve a problem the same way over and over,
Sometimes the breakthrough comes
Yeah.
when you ask for help.
or try a different approach.
Step outside your comfort zone.
So he's reframing our understanding of help.
He is.
It's not just rescuing someone from a difficult situation.
It's about acknowledging our interconnectedness
Our shared humanity.
and our need for support.
I'm curious to hear
Yeah.
what else he has to say
You too.
about how we can cultivate
Okay.
a more receptive mindset.
When it comes to seeking and receiving help,
You know, it's interesting how Pastor Eze points out that sometimes we think we need help, but we're actually the ones blocking it.
yeah, without even realizing it.
He lists several traits that can hinder us,
Okay.
and some of them hit a little too close to home for me.
Like what?
Well, he starts with prayerlessness, which we've talked about.
Right, but thinking beyond formal prayer,
Okay.
it's about recognizing a power greater than yourself,
Okay.
whether that's a higher purpose or a community, or even just the interconnectedness of everything.
Are you open to that?
Yeah. Are you trying to do everything on your own?
That's a good way to put it.
It takes it beyond just a religious practice.
Definitely.
And then there's ignoring instructions, which we all do sometimes.
Yeah.
But he suggests it can be a sign of pride. Like
Right.
thinking we know better than everyone else.
Oh, I've been there.
Especially with those complicated IKEA instructions.
Yeah, my furniture creations are more modern art than anything else.
But think about it in a work setting.
Okay.
That I know better attitude can be a problem.
Right.
Ignoring a client's request or a colleague's advice.
Could derail a whole project.
It's a reminder to check our egos,
Be open to feedback.
even if it comes from someone we don't see as an expert.
That's a good point.
And this connects to the next point.
Okay.
Despising the gift of men.
Right, like not valuing other people's contributions.
Remember the story of Rhoda.
A house girl who helped Peter escape.
The disciples were praying for a miracle,
Yeah,
but they almost missed it.
because they dismissed Rhoda.
Imagine you're in a brainstorming session,
Yeah.
and someone who's usually quiet offers an idea.
Okay.
Rhoda's story reminds us to listen closely.
Because that person might have the breakthrough.
We need to value every voice.
It's like that saying, none of us is as smart as all of us.
Exactly.
And then he talks about ingratitude.
Yes, a classic blocker.
If you don't appreciate the help you've received,
Yeah.
why would anyone help you again?
It's like receiving a gift and not saying thank you.
Right, it's just rude.
It sends the message that you didn't care.
Ingratitude's not just about manners.
It's about acknowledging the impact someone had on you.
Whether it's a friend listening or a colleague going above and beyond,
Expressing gratitude strengthens those relationships.
creates a positive cycle.
So all these qualities,
Yeah, prayerlessness, ignoring instructions, despising others, ingratitude.
they point to a lack of humility.
Like we think we can do it all on our own.
And when we cling to that,
Yeah.
we close ourselves off from support.
Pastor Eze obviously focuses on the religious aspect,
Right, he urges people to accept Jesus.
but even if that doesn't resonate with everyone,
The underlying message is universal.
about seeking connection and support,
We all need a source of strength.
whether it's spiritual or a community or a sense of purpose. So if we look at his sermon as a whole,
Yeah.
what are the key takeaways we can apply?
He's encouraging us to be humble,
Okay.
recognizing we don't have all the answers.
And seeking help is a strength.
Not a weakness.
He reminds us to be grateful
Acknowledge the impact others have on us.
and be open to help from unexpected sources.
Because everyone has something to contribute.
It's a powerful message
Is
about our interconnectedness
our shared humanity.
and the power of help and support.
And while he focused on spiritual help,
Yeah.
these principles apply to everything.
Our careers, our personal lives.
Just living a fulfilling life.
Being open to help can make all the difference.
I think this deep dive has given us all a lot to think about.
I'm curious to hear from you, the listener.
Yeah.
Have you had your own Rhoda moments?
When has seeking help been a game changer?
Keep those questions in mind as you continue your own deep dive.
Into the power of help and support.